Hello and welcome to lesson number 31 of the series Learn to Play the Violin with Me, where I play both the role of teacher and student. A quick note before we get started with today's lesson. It seems that at this point in the book, the songs are getting a little longer in length and more complex in terms of rhythms. As we go along, we'll also be adding more notes. So because of that, each individual exercise might take a little bit longer for us to get through. And because of that, our pacing needs might change a little bit. Some of you might think that I'm going too quickly in my pacing, and some of you might think that I'm not going quickly enough. Because of that, I thought it would be helpful if in the description of each individual video, I list the page number and the song numbers that we're working on. That way, you can jump around, you can see exactly what we're going to be covering in each lesson. So if you have one that you need a little bit more work on, or you want to go back to, or you want to skip ahead to, you can do that. I'll also list tips for individual practice. There might be some that you want to spend more time on after we're done working on them together, and I'll have some tips for you about how to make your practice the most effective. Okay, that being said, let's get started on today's lesson. The 15-minute timer has started. When we last left off, we were looking at number 73 on page 21 of the Essential Elements Violin Book 1, Buckeye Salute. It has all 8 notes that we know in lines 1 and in lines 2. So for warm-up, let's play a D major scale and we'll do 2 of each note. We'll take it nice and slow and we'll practice not necessarily putting down all of the fingers, but putting down each finger, 1, then 2, then 3, instead of 1, 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. Let's try that as a warm-up. We'll repeat high D, so we'll be playing 4 high Ds in a row. 2 because we're at the top, and then 2 starting back down. Let's try it starting with low D. 1, 2, ready, play. D, D, E, E, F sharp, G, G, A, B, B, C sharp, D, D. Repeat. D, D, C sharp, B, B, A, G, G, F sharp, E, E, D, D. All right, let's look at line 1 of number 73, Buckeye Salute. We start on high D. Let's just try measure number 1. We have 2 different notes there, high D and high C sharp. The rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Let's try that nice and slow. Let's see. D. 1, 2, ready, and. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, ready, and. Ooh, I started too high. Let's try that again. Ready, play. All right, let's move on to measure number 2. B, 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 A, F sharp. Okay, so that's fingers 1 on the A string, open A, and then finger 2 on the D string, starting with a B. B, B. 1, 2, ready, play. B, 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 A, F sharp. Let's try that again. So we're switching strings and we're switching fingers. So there's a lot going on in that measure. Let's try that again. B, ready, play. B, 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 A, F sharp. Let's just try A and F sharp 3 times in a row. So it would be a down bow on the A, starting at the frog. Ready, play. A, F sharp. Try that again. Ready, play. A, F sharp. One more time. Ready, play. A, F sharp. All right, now let's do all of measure 2, starting on B. B, ready, play. B, 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 A, F sharp. Try that again, measure 2. Ready, play. Remember, you'll use more bow for the quarter notes because they last twice as long as each eighth note. Let's try playing measures 1 and 2. Start on high D. D, 1, 2, ready, play. All right, let's try it again, nice and slow, so our brain can process all the things that are happening all at once. Ready, play. All right, I need to increase my speed a little bit. I'm getting a little bit shaky. Let's try measures 1 and 2 one more time, then we'll move on. D, 1 and 2 and ready, play. All right, measure 3. So we are now going to G. We were just on F sharp, which is finger 2. So even I have to get used to that change. And now we're going to 3, which is the G. So we are playing 3 different notes. G, nope, I don't even know. G, G, there we go. G, 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 F sharp, D open. So we're not playing by step necessarily anymore all the time. We are adding some skips in there, which means we're not just going from one note to the very next note, either up or down all the time. We're starting to skip. So from F sharp to a D is a skip because we're skipping that E in between. Let's try measure number 3 starting on G. G, G, sorry, G. All right, 1 and 2 and ready, play. G, 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 F sharp, D. Try that again. I was a little off on my F sharp to start. I have to remember to keep those 2 fingers really close together because the F sharp is only a half step lower than the G. Ready, play. G, 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 F sharp, D. One more time, measure 3. Ready, play. G, 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 F sharp, D. Let's try measure number 4. E, 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 D. Rest and bow lift. So on E, E, ready, play. E, 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 D, rest and bow lift. So you might as well during that rest get used to moving that bow lift so that we can start line number 2 easily, kind of working on muscle memory there. Let's try measure 4 again. E, ready, play. E, 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 D, rest and bow lift. Remember, for those 8th notes, we're starting at the frog, and we're going to about halfway with the bow. Let's put together measures 3 and 4. Starting on G, G, the 3rd finger on the D string. Ready, play. G, 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 F sharp, D, E, 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 D, rest and bow lift. Let's try it again. My E was a little bit sharp there, so I had to adjust by sliding my finger down a little bit towards the scroll. G, ready, measure 3. G, 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 F sharp, D, E, 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 D. Rest and bow lift. Okay, let's try all of line number 1. We're going to go super slow. There's no reason to speed it along. And accidentally, it's more likely you'll make mistakes, and then you're not creating the correct muscle memory patterns that you need. It's way better to play it super slow and make sure that you are playing everything correctly, rhythm-wise and note-wise, instead of speeding through, making mistakes, and basically having to spend more time now unlearning those mistakes. Nice and slow. Starting on high D. D. Measure 1 through measure 4. 1 and 2 and ready, play. Rest and bow lift. All right, let's try it again. I had to make a couple of adjustments as I was playing for the notes to be in tune, but we are getting there. Let's do it again. Focused repetition is what it's all about. Try to pick something to improve on and focus on that this run through. D. 1 and 2 and ready, play. Rest and bow lift. All right, let's try line 1 a little bit faster. Remember, if you need to pause it at any point and work a little bit more before you hit unpause and try it a little bit faster, go for it. That's awesome. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, play. Good. Let's move on to line number 2. Let's look at measure 5. Let's try it. The rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. We're playing 2 different notes, D and E. Here we go. Measure 5. Ready, play. Try that again. Ready, play. All right, let's try measure 6. F sharp. It's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Here we go. Ready, play. Let's try that again. Here we go. F sharp to G, and then we're switching strings and also switching fingers to that 1 on the A string to play B. Let's try it. Starting on F sharp. Ready, play. Woo! Let's just try G to B. That feels a little awkward because you have to change the angle that you're playing because you're playing the ring finger and then you have to move down. You have to move your hand a little bit to be able to comfortably reach that B there. I don't know if you felt the same way, but it felt a little bit awkward for me. This is definitely a growing moment for me here. Let's play G to B. G, B is what it should sound like. Let's see if it does. Ready, play. G, B. Try it again. Ready, play. Try it again. Ready, play. Okay. All right, let's try measure 6, starting on F sharp. No, hold on. D, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, F sharp. 1, 2, measure 6, play. All right, let's try that again. That's tough for me. Here we go. Ready, play. Okay, let's put together measures 5 and 6, starting with open D on a down bow by the frog. 1 and 2 and ready, play. Hey, stop that. All right, let's try measures 5 and 6 again, because you may have been distracted just like I was by the beeping of the timer. 1, 2, ready, play. I don't know if you can hear that on that G, I keep accidentally playing the lower string, the G string. I think it's because I'm mentally preparing for a shift, so I'm like making a little motion. I'm not sure why I'm going the opposite way, but it's like my body is preparing to shift strings to play the B. So that's an interesting little observation that I had. All right, let's actually play measures 7 and 8. I know the timer went off, but let's finish this song so that next lesson we can put it all together. Let's try measure number 7. We're on open A string. So we're playing A, B, B, D. So open, 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 1, 1, 3. Let's try it, see what happens. Ready, play. Oh, all right, let's try it again. Ready, play. All right, measure number 8, C sharp and D. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. Rest. Starting finger 2, C sharp, C sharp. Ready, play. Rest. And if you heard it vibrate, it's because I wasn't going fast enough. Try measure 8 again, C sharp. Ready, play. All right, let's put measures 7 and 8 together, and then we'll call it a day. Starting with open A. Ready, play. Rest. One more time. Ready, play. Rest. Next lesson, we will learn the second line, put that together, and then we will put the entire song together so we can play Buckeye Salute for all of our friends and family. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you in lesson number 32.